Hi, this is John Cullen. Welcome to another IAMJOHNCULLEN Podcast. This episode, we're going to take a look at ShotSpotter. What is ShotSpotter exactly? Let's take a closer look.
A gun is fired somewhere in your city. So what happens now?
ShotSpotter is an acoustic surveillance technology that is intended to identify, locate, and alert police to incidents involving gunshots fired in certain areas of the valley.
I'm Captain LaRochelle at the Northeast Area Command. Let me further explain how this technology works.
By utilizing advanced technology honed over 2 decades, we have automated the process. We monitor gunfire activity 24/7. So if a gun is fired in any area within ShotSpotter coverage, the system detects, locates, and immediately alerts police of the gunshot.
On November the 15th, 6 weeks after the attack in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department announces that they're going to be deploying ShotSpotter. What that means is that their pilot program has completed. So they deployed the system in a pilot mode, ran it in a test mode for some time, and 6 weeks after the October the 1st attack, they announced at a press conference that they're going to be deploying the system in production. So this is that press conference. Let's take a look at that.
Commissioner Marilyn Kirkpatrick, Colonel Murray, and his team from the Nellis Air Force Base. The program is called ShotSpotter.
So did you catch that? How many police department press briefings does the Air Force usually attend? Why is the Air Force at this press briefing? We went to research Colonel Murray, and we found something that's a real interesting new twist. Talk about that at the end of the podcast. So let's stay focused on ShotSpotter, and then we'll come back and talk more about Colonel Murray and his team.
ShotSpotter is an acoustic surveillance technology that is intended to identify, locate, and alert police to incidents involving gunshots fired in certain areas of the valley.
I'm Captain LaRochelle at the Northeast Area Command. Let me further explain how this technology works. As an example, during the calibration of the system, when we started to implement the technology, live shots were fired in several locations under controlled conditions. Today, if someone fires a gun in these neighborhoods, the ShotSpotter system will pick up the gunfire and provide officers with the exact location of where the gunfire occurred in no more than 45 seconds.
So how does it work? It starts with acoustic sensors that are placed on buildings or lampposts throughout a neighborhood. If a gun is fired anywhere in the area, multiple sensors detect and timestamp the sound. The precise location of the gunshot is determined based on the amount of time it takes for the sound of the gunshot to travel to each individual sensor, effectively triangulating the sound. The exact location of the detected gunshot is indicated by a dot on a map.
The implementation of this program in our community was a task that took many months.
So let's assume that the pilot program was in place for many months. As he just said, it took many months. So if they had a pilot program in place, does that mean that Jim LaRochelle and his team have the data that shows where the gunfire was coming from the night of October the 1st? And we believe the answer to that is yes. Now, is there evidence that Jim LaRochelle might have had information that made him feel compromised? Is there any evidence of that? And the answer to that is yes. So let's take a closer look at Jim LaRochelle. And might he have had accidentally collected, as part of his pilot program, the smoking gun?
The implementation of this program in our community was a task that took many months. We could not have done it without the assistance of the county commissioners and Marilyn Kirkpatrick joining us here today. The funding for this pilot program was made possible through the University of Reno's Cooperative Extension Program and the Friends of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Foundation. We thank for everyone for who's joining in with us to bring this tool to bear in the fight against the violent crime in our city, particularly in the Northeast Area Command with the help of Nellis Air Force Base.
Hi, I'm Ramsey Dennison, director of What Happened in Vegas, and I'm here today with a really good friend of mine, a man named Mikey Slyman, who is in charge of a website called Las Vegas Emergency Incidents. Anytime anything big goes down in Vegas, they're the first ones to know about it.
We have a Facebook page with about 50,000 members. Those people all listen. So we have about 50,000 people listening to everything that's going on in Vegas. As soon as something hits those scanners, they're reporting it to our page.
Right, Mikey, and tell me what you heard on those scanners on Thursday, December 21st.
We started hearing this missing person. You know, they're putting a bolo out, which is be on the lookout for. And they gave his description, and the description of he's driving like a 97 Land Rover. And normally that happens once or twice throughout the day. They kept broadcasting this missing person all through the day. So finally, one of the guys in my group said, well, I'm going to look this guy's name up because they're really concerned about this missing person. All of a sudden, we looked it up, and we looked up the name James LaRochelle and put the pieces together. Holy crap, this is a Metro captain. At 2 a.m., this guy goes off the grid. And no cell phone activity. Metro is pinging his cell phone, and they couldn't find him. They were concerned enough to broadcast it to every media station as far away as Arizona. My friends in Arizona said it was showing up on their news.
I wanted to see if he was in any way connected to the Vegas mass shooting, so I started looking into James LaRochelle's background, and what I found is that he was instrumental in this new technology called ShotSpotter, which uses sensors to track.
Thank you for listening to this portion of this podcast, ShotSpotter Meets U.S. Air Force. The full podcast can be found at patreon.com. I am John Cullen. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support our efforts.